Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Jegwarr, and I'm back. I know it's been a little while. I've been busy, not entirely. I'm not gonna make excuses. I definitely probably could have uploaded one of those days, but regardless, I'm here now, you know? So I'm on my Valorant profile right now, just to show you guys where I'm at. I'm Silver 1. I didn't really change that much. I have been playing though. Just trying to improve. Um, Here are my stats for now, not bad, not like necessarily super good. One thing is like I've been playing Cypher and I've been doing way better. Um and, like a lot of these games, I won't even lie though, I lose because I'm like three stacked with my friends that are like gold. Like my one friend's gold, but she should not be in gold. So yeah, it kind of screws me over, but like I just want to I just want to improve at the end of the day. But like you can tell from my stats, I'm not necessarily terrible. Like my damage delta is positive. My ACS isn't that bad. My KDs are positive. My win loss is just terrible. And like I don't really care about my rank right now. I just want to keep playing and getting better. Um, as far as like aim training goes and all that, I have been doing that. I switched to the voltaic Valorant warm up. I've been doing that before I play rather than doing like 30-minute aiming sessions. I find that the warm up is more helpful and just useful overall because right now my main game is Valorant and I just kind of want to improve in Valorant. So I'm just focusing on that. I know I'm gonna address a bunch of the comments. I have them all pulled up here in the last video because like I appreciate all the support and all the comments. Like I read every single one, even if I don't heart it, I read every single one. So I appreciate it. Um, if you guys leave a comment, I'll get to it eventually. I'll probably address it in the next video. But today I'm gonna go over the comments and talk a little bit before I go into the aim training. Before I do aim training today, I just want to talk about all this stuff. I don't know why I have my stream like I have my stream layout pulled up for Streamlabs. Like you can see in the top left I have Appa. Yeah, I don't know why I did that, but here we'll go over some comments before I get into the aim training portion, as well as actually I'll just scroll up and down through this. So if you guys want to like pause and look at it, you guys can. Um, so some comments. All right, the first at the very top. Spicy Aim says, I think you should start with easier aim training scenarios to help you build good habits. Um, Honestly, I've been told the opposite. Like, I'm pretty sure the entire voltaic, like the entire VDIM method, the voltaic daily method, is set up so you play harder scenarios. So you like try to adjust and get better that way. Um, Easier aim training is definitely good. Like the easier training scenarios, like I think Grid Shot Ultimate is like a super easy scenario. I think they are good for practicing reaction time and like just how quick you are. I think the harder ones are good for precision, which carries over to Valorant pretty well. Um, but yeah, I think yeah, every easier and hard scenarios are good. It just depends on what you're training for. This one, I don't know the exact name. I'm just gonna call you Tomorrow because TMR. The aiming scenario that has the most correlation in game performance is a time static TAF. By the time I mean you get like 160 milliseconds to click before it resets. Consider giving those a shot. They are on Kovacs. I don't know if it's on Aimlabs. I think this is Reflex Shot. I think that's what this is. And I've definitely done Reflex Shot. I should probably do it more. I just kind of go through the Voltaic playlist most of the time. But yeah, I'll try to do more Reflex Shot, even if it's just once per day. So thank you for the comment there, and thank you for the comments by CM. Gaming Moments 31 says, nah, bro, you are insane. I can't even do the easy tracking tasks on Aimlabs. I'm still doing with unsmooth aim. I've tried everything by changing my setup and posture. Even though I've been training for 2 months, I've barely made any progress. So yeah, I was kind of the same way. I sucked at tracking so much, like so much. And honestly, I changed my setup and it did help me a decent bit. Like I have the Zowie GSR mousepad, I think that's what it's called, and I have the Superlight too, but I've had the Superlight too for a while. For tracking, I will say the Superlight definitely helped and the mousepad definitely helped. But what helped me the most is just playing tracking characters and tracking games. I won't even lie, like I started playing Bastion and Overwatch just to like, get better with tracking. And it helped a lot. Like it actually helped a lot. Like I just noticed it. Also, like I forget the guy's name. It's like L something. Said changing your sense per task is definitely like if you're just trying to get a high score, change your sense. Honestly, change your sense for tracking. Um, Maybe even use the universal sense finder if you're on Aimlabs and you have the plus, but I wouldn't like pay for it. Um, but yeah, definitely your sensitivity could be the problem. Or you said you tried changing your setup and posture. Maybe just try to play a game where it's very tracking intense, like Apex Legends, something like that. But definitely, I'm not too sure how to address that honestly. But if you keep doing tracking tasks, start off with easier ones. That helped me, like the wrist smoothness, I think it's called. That one helped a lot. Um, but yeah, thank you for the comment gaming moments. Hezzy says keep grinding. I will try to keep grinding. I am in college and I have 2 jobs now, so it's kind of hard. But like I plan on trying to aim train every day. I also need to get to the gym, man. So I'm gonna try to keep grinding. Summerblade01 says, okay, your tracking is good, but there's no point of having crazy aim if you can't utilize it. Practice on key concepts like strafing, B/W shots. I'm not too sure. Honestly, maybe he means, I actually don't know what he means. Like back and forth shots, like just strafing shots, I know what he means, like in Valorant. Dead zoning and some good crosshair placement. Your mechanical skill might be good, but you just first need to understand the mechanics of the game and overcome the barriers. Aim barriers, B/W again. Diff games to improve overall. Just play the game more and you'll get out of bronze. And focus on stuff other than raw. And keep the grind up. Wishing you the best luck. This guy is exactly right. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. This guy is right. Like, or girl is completely right. And that's what I've been doing, is just playing the game and focusing on like mastering an agent in game sense. And watching like Valorant stuff, Valorant videos, Valorant streams. This person right here is exactly right. My aim is good. Like my aim is legitimately, it might not be the best for Valorant, it might not be the best for Aimlabs, might not be the best for voltaic benchmarks, but my aim is good. I got diamond on Overwatch from just playing Cassidy and literally just aiming. And like, sure, I have some positioning, but my positioning is definitely not my strong suit. Also, like I play Baptiste on Overwatch. My aim is good on there. If I made it to diamond on Overwatch, by like the majority, I would say, is probably aim, not as much game sense. And then I can definitely make it pretty high in Val once I focus on a game sense. Like, I think my aim is decent enough to the point where I could probably get to at least gold on Val. If I just had some better game sense, I'm just clueless on what to do in half of the scenarios. And I've definitely been getting better with that just by playing. And playing agents that are actually good in good on the certain maps, all that stuff. Like a couple weeks ago, I didn't even know how to use smokes properly. So yeah, this person is right. You definitely need to utilize it. One thing I noticed is crosshair placement is like literally the most important thing in Valorant. Like your aim can carry you to an extent, but crosshair placement will always be key, like king in my opinion. If you're aiming at a doorway, like directly where their head is, you don't have to move your mouse at all. You can just shoot. You just have to have good reaction time. If you're aiming at the floor, you need to have a good reaction time and you need to have good flicking skills to flick up to their head. So definitely knowing where they're coming from and where their head's going to be is very important. So thank you for the comment there. Daily Brainwave says, why do you limit your FPS to 120? You have a 3070, surely your monitor is at least 144 hertz, right? If you're playing on a 120 hertz monitor, I would recommend to upgrade. When I had a 75 hertz in CS, I used to be hard stuck silver. Then once I upgraded to 40 hertz, I hit max rank within 3 months. I truly believe your performance is being held back by your low FPS at low hertz, even though your PC is good. Okay, let me take a deep breath because, yeah, I do play on 120 hertz. I don't think it necessarily holds me back to my rank like completely. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think that extra 240 hertz would definitely help me. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's gonna instantly get me to plat or diamond or something like that. I think the majority of what's holding me back is my game sense, knowing when to strafe, knowing when to crouch, knowing when to shoot. That's the majority of why I think I'm bad. But I might honestly get a 240 hertz monitor soon because this monitor I use is basic compatible and I want to mount it. So maybe. And I limit my FPS to 120 just because that's my refresh rate. And I rather play with it just locked rather than my room getting super hot and my monitor or rather than my room getting super hot and my game dropping frames. So that's why I play with it locked. It might not be optimal, but it's just what I prefer. I should like all these, but you know, I hearted them. It's good enough, but I appreciate all the feedback. LL says, I've watched a lot of your videos, but I'm still confused why you focus so much on tracking while playing Valorant. The game relies more on flicks than tracking, even with snipers, which are mainly used for flick shots. I've seen clips where you're trying to track instead of flicking, but honestly, against skilled players, you'd be eliminated in seconds if you rely on tracking like that. Just curious, why not focus more on improving your flicks? This person is also right. There is definitely a place for tracking in every game, you know, but tracking in Valorant is more about, I feel like, knowing the spray patterns and just mouse control. And that's part of the reason why I'm not focusing on tracking as much anymore, and I'm doing the voltaic Valorant warm-up playlist. I think that was made by Cartoon. It's only like 15 minutes, and I'm playing more in-game games to get better at Valorant. So yeah, honestly, I am following the advice of this. I'm focusing more on flicks and in-game stuff. Knock off an FPS like this. These are replies down here. Knock off an FPS says, "LL, you're so wrong about the tracking part. Tracking isn't about just making your crosshair stick into the target. It's about target reading, minimizing movement, predicting, and tension management. To be efficient in proper flick tech, a degree of tension management is important. Hence why he doesn't neglect any aim category and actually plays through each and every one of them." Viscos, I don't know how you say it, a very well-known top-tier aimer in any game and a coach for T2 team. I can't fucking speak. Have discussed in this in her video. Please stop spreading anecdotal information. So yeah, tracking is very important, and that's why it's in the Valorant Voltaic playlist. It's just a different type of tracking, you know. It's much more precision based. It's not as much reactive based. Minus like, actually, there is a bit of reactive. It's like strafe tracking or something like that. It's a micro strafe track. It's something like that. So a combination of reactive and precision. And yeah, I don't want to neglect any of my aiming categories, but I can see what LL is saying, where in Valorant there's not much. Valorant is definitely more of a flick heavy game in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. You know, it is anecdotal at the end of the day. Viscos has their own opinion, or Viscos has their own opinion. You have your own opinion, not Coffin. And I definitely agree. Tracking did help me with my tension management. I used to be gripping my mouse up super fucking hard. But yeah, I'll just move on from that. And we'll move down here. Knock off an FPS. Thanks for misunderstanding me. I never said tracking is bad. I said he should focus on other skills. Look at his video. He's already good at tracking. And what's he doing? Focusing even more on tracking. And an aim trainer with objects moving left and right. Do you really think that will help him understand how a human thinks and moves in Valorant? Humans don't move in a predictable pattern. And Valorant isn't Delta Force. It's a game that demands fast thinking and instant reactions. Before I get on to the second part, actually, what's he going to do with all the tracking when bullets aren't perfectly accurate and the enemy is a one-tap player who can kill him in 0.5 milliseconds? He's overthinking every kill, over-tracking and moving too slowly. That won't cut it against good players. Balance is key. Focusing on one skill won't make him better at the game as a whole. I definitely agree with some parts of this and disagree with other parts. This whole portion here is why I'm doing the 14-minute voltaic warm-up. I'm focusing on doing a little bit of aim training just as a warm-up and getting into the game. I just want to focus on game sense and he is right. Tracking is not that important in Valorant. It definitely helps with mouse control and all that, but the bullets aren't straight. You know, you can't just track an enemy and hold the trigger. It's more about learning the spray pattern. And another thing, the one part that I might disagree with a little bit is tracking. Tracking is good once you learn the spray pattern. A one-tap player who can kill him in 0.5 milliseconds. Sure, there is players who can one-tap me in 0.5 milliseconds, but what about the pro players who spray all the time? You know, Sinatra is literally known for spraying. Sure, he isn't a pro player anymore, but he's one of the top players. He hardly ever one-taps players. He normally just sprays, and he sprays based off of game sense. You know, I think flicking and one-tapping is very important, but I think it has its place. I think game sense reigns king over anything else. And obviously, that's just my take on it, you know? This is everybody's take, you know? Everybody has different takes. Everybody has different opinions on what they need to focus on. I think I should definitely focus on other stuff other than tracking. My tracking skills are already decent from playing all these other FPS games. So we'll just move on from that. That's probably the most controversial part. And always, if you guys want to add on to that in the comment section, I feel free to. You know, I'm always open to what you guys have to say. And then Streaks official says Bronze 3 uninstall the game XD, and Gaming Moment says Rage Bait. You know, honestly, I'll like this because if I saw somebody that was Bronze 3 and they had like 2,000 hours in the game, dude, I would tell them to quit too, honestly. I don't have 2,000 hours though. I'm very, very new. I have like 51 hours playtime, and I'm Silver 1. You know, that's probably not the best, but it's definitely not the worst either. I've seen way worse. So I appreciate all the comments. At the end of the day, I'm learning, and I'm taking everything you guys say into consideration, and I will address all your comments in future videos as well. So now on to the aim training portion.